Hello, Kristen again with Ministry to Children. And today we have another exciting craft segment. We're going to be doing some more Christmas crafts, and this is called Nativity Scene 3 Different Ways. So we're featuring the main story of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, and I'm going to walk you through how you can make yourself a stable, as well as a few different options that you might use to put some fun items in that stable. And the really cool part about this is that you can even turn those things into ornaments as well by the mere addition of a string or pipe cleaner. So first of all, we're going to make the stable. Disclaimer, historical accuracy says it might not have been a barn, it might have been more like a cave or an extra back room or a shed, but we're going to make it kind of like a barn. So what you're going to need is a shoebox of any sort, and you're going to tilt that shoebox on its side. So you're kind of making a diorama. This is going to be the inside of the stable where you're going to put your items, and we're going to make a little roof for it. So you're going to take some paper. Now you can use any color of paper really, but we'll use brown because it's kind of stable accurate. And we're basically going to tape or staple our brown pieces together and make it kind of like a little tent action going on. Don't mind the cat in the background. And then we're going to attach those in a tent form atop your stable box. So you can use cardstock or cardboard if you want this to be a little bit firmer, or you can just kind of fold it to be sort of like a triangle. And you are more than welcome to use glue. For the sake of timing purposes, I'm going to use the paper because then I don't have to wait for it to dry. So call me impatient, tape works fast. Glue works as well. So you're going to, this is a very simple thing here. You tape your paper on top and you have your little roof. Again, you could use the lid of the shoebox, you could use cardboard, you could use cardstock. And then really you're going to embellish it however you like to on the inside. You can use some markers and you can draw a scene, or you can take some hay and you can put it down to be more stable accurate. You can do some pom-poms or some cotton balls to make yourself a little sheep. And you can even make a little manger. One way you might make a manger is taking a paper towel tube or a toilet paper tube, and you can just cut that lengthwise so you have an actual little trough. That's basically what a manger was. So you can put your little manger trough in there. You could also stick that puppy on a clothespin to set it up a little bit. And now you have your backdrop for the scene. Again, you can make it as embellished as you like. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you a few different options to make your nativity scene to put in there. So you will need some felt or fabric. You could also just use construction paper if you prefer. You will need some pipe cleaners or some string, especially if you want to hang these items. And then the first one we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can make a nativity set using clothespins. So you can have these old-fashioned wooden clothespins work very nicely, or you can use a smaller, shorter one, or you can also just use some good old-fashioned popsicle sticks. Those work as well. Or you can also use the regular, not so old-fashioned, typical kind of clothespin. But what you're going to do is quite simple. You can choose whatever color fabric you want. Typically Mary is pictured wearing blue, so let's say I'm going to use blue fabric. I'm going to just snip that, and then I'm going to attach it onto my method of choice. So let's say I'm using the old-fashioned clothespin. I'm going to just wrap that around, and for this you're probably going to want to use glue because tape just doesn't set quite as well with fabric. You can use regular Elmer's glue, or it might work better to use some kind of like a tacky glue. And you're just going to glue that little outfit on. Then, using your handy dandy markers, you can make a little face, or You can even do, if you want more elaborate of a face, you can do googly eyes. Probably won't fit on here, but you could use a puffy paint. Again, that will take longer to dry and needs extra supervision, but you could use puffy paint. And you can put some sort of a little head strap or headgear on top, because we want Mary to either have some hair or have some sort of a head covering. And you can glue that on as well. And then you have your little Mary again. You can do the same type of thing for a little baby, or not baby, for a little Joseph figure. And you can use a smaller item, or you can use the same kind of thing to have Jesus, and you can wrap him up in some white to make him sort of swaddled. So there's one option. You've got your sticks, your clothespins. Option number 2 is we're going to go with the paper towel or toilet paper roll. And this also makes a fun little kind of Mary, Joseph, Jesus, shepherds, etc., whatever you want to do. Now for this, again, you can do some googly eyes if you want to make them have a more pronounced kind of a face. You can add on some markers. You can add on some puffy paint. You can go to town and get as creative as you want to. And then again, you can add your clothing. So maybe we want to give this guy a nice red outfit because, hey, it's Christmas. Maybe he's just feeling festive in the stable. And you can go as much as you want to. You can do just Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, or you can add in some magi, add in some shepherds, and then with these kinds of things, you can put a hole punch in the top, and you can turn this into a handy dandy Christmas ornament. You could have the whole nativity scene hanging from a clothes hanger or your Christmas tree or wherever you want to hang it from by the mere addition of string and pipe cleaner. Again, you'll want to wait for that glue to set up. So that's option number 2. Clearly, you will give more time and effort. This is the simple walkthrough. Option number 3, you can use a cup. You can use a smaller cup to make your characters. So again, you can do your googly eyes. You can do your puffy paint. That looks a little strange, but you could also do this if you wanted to have an angel with your scene, and you can put that angel right on the top of your stable. And you can also do the same thing where you're turning this into an ornament, and you can poke your pipe cleaner through the back. We did this recently with some angel crafts. You can do the same thing here, but you can turn it into a Mary, Joseph, and Jesus display, or a shepherd's, wise men, sheep display, however much you want to go into detail on your characters. And then you can also use those popsicle sticks or clothespins to set up a manger, or you can do it with the toilet paper tube as well, cut in half. And then you can turn any of those into a hanging ornament, and you can get as creative as you want to. I encourage you to think outside the box. We are using a shoebox, but for your characters, think outside the box. You can make a nativity scene with rocks. You can go outside and grab some pine cones and make a pine cone, Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. You could do envelopes and decorate them as faces. There are so many options that you can do. Really, this is just encouraging you a few ways to get creative and to use your fun interpretation of however you would prefer your fun nativity scene to be. So, have fun, get creative, get crafty, and have a very Merry Christmas. See you next time.